As an FYI, I reviewed the first version of this e-bike and I absolutely fell in love with that bike because it was absolutely gorgeous. I'm very happy to say that with version 2.0 of this e-bike, not only does it look better, but now finally they fixed the components that needed to be fixed. There aren't that many e-bikes in the market at the current moment that are offering a dual battery option. However, check this out. Got a battery that's sitting right on top here and an identical one on the bottom. So depending on your budget, you can decide to get a one battery version right now, and I believe it's about a couple $100 off on their website, because this version is about $1,300 as you're looking at it, which is kind of a bargain if you ask me. This is 15.6 amp hours, and this baby should take you very, very far on a single charge. As a matter of fact, just last week I did about 35 miles, and on a single charge, I would say most of those 35 miles were done using pure power, meaning I was just twisting the throttle. So half of it was probably pedal assist in pedal assist number 3 or number 4, and then half of it was just using pure power. And I got, out of a single battery, 34 miles. So with that being said, I'm very, very confident in saying that this will do anywhere between 50 to 60 miles with both batteries combined if you're going to be using pedal assist as well as pure power mode. With the version 2.0, they also include a brand new LCD. And in the previous version, it was nice, but I think this version is way nicer. Hopefully you can see, but the last ride that I did on this was 34.2 miles. Normally I get an e-bike. The only time that I actually take it out is whenever I'm doing a first ride review with you guys. But because I love this bike and I loved it the first time I rode it, I decided to take this thing on a nice little journey of 34 miles the first time around. So let's just call it a second ride review, because I do have some experience with this one and the previous gen one. But the previous gen one that I absolutely loved didn't have hydraulic brakes, and that's one of the criticisms that I had about that bike. However, with this bike, we have dual hydraulic brakes. Yes. So, problem resolved. Now we got hydraulic brakes on this bike. The second issue I had with this bike was that the rear shock was terrible. They probably bought like a cheap $10 shock to put in the rear, but I'm very happy to say that this one is fully adjustable. And as you can see, it is hydraulic. So rear hydraulic shocks. Unfortunately, the front shocks aren't adjustable. They're not hydraulic. They're just standard. But the cool news is that it's got a triple tree clamp, just like you would find in a motorcycle. How cool is that? So yeah, as far as looks are concerned, this bike definitely looks the part in terms of how gorgeous it looks and how much of a motorcycle slash moped it looks like. Now moving on, as far as the tires, same tires as before, except now you got a yellow wall on the tires, which looks beautiful, and it goes really well with the blue as well as this orange seat. And of course you got these fancy ENGWE graphics over here, which the previous version didn't really have. Kind of forgot what the old one looked like, because this one looks so much better than the old one. And of course the weight, let's talk about that for a second. This bike is a gargantuan 99.8 pounds wet with 2 batteries. Don't expect to move this thing around just by picking it up and taking it places. This is not one of those type of bikes, so make sure you have a hitch hauler or something like that if you want to travel with this bike, because it's very, very heavy. But anyway, we're going to go for a nice little ride and talk about every single other little thing about it. And off we go. It's got a half twist throttle, so with a full twist, it'll do a maximum of 20 miles an hour without you having to touch the pedals. On ENGWE's website, they rate the motor as 750 watts. However, peak power on the motor is rated at 1200 watts, which is a lot of power right there. And you could definitely feel it when you're twisting the throttle, because this thing has a lot of torque. And on their website, they rate the torque at 75 Newton meters. So quite a lot of torque right there. So now we're going to start pedaling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down a couple of gears. Now we're in gear number 3 and we're pedaling. And we're going to see how fast pedal assist number 1 will take us. So pedal assist number 1, 10 miles an hour. Let's kick it up to pedal assist number 2. We're doing about 11 miles an hour. Pedal assist number 3. I felt a surge of power, and I think we need more gears because now I'm dead pedaling. Alright, so 17 miles an hour, pedal assist number 3. Pedal assist number 4, surge of power, takes me to 19 miles an hour. And then I think we're going to kick it up to 7, and pedal assist number 5 should do a top speed of 28 miles an hour. So we're doing 28.8 miles an hour. Yeah, so this will go over 28 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. And I forgot to mention, you don't have to power both of these batteries at the same time. You can just power one of them and run on one battery. And when you're finished with this battery and you notice that the power is going down, you can start the second battery and turn off the battery that you were using previously. Or you can run both batteries simultaneously and it'll draw an equal amount of power from both batteries. So that's one of the cool options of this e-bike. What I like about the pedal assist on this bike, specifically the M20 model, because all of them are a little bit different, to be honest with you. As soon as you start pedaling, you get power right away from the motor. There is no pedaling 4 or 5 revolutions in order to get power. The power is immediate, and that's the way I like it, and that's the way it should be. So that means it works as advertised. Alright, so here's some off-road. It's not really an off-road trail, but sometimes I go on these roads just to test out what the tires are going to be like. So yeah, there's a lot of gravel here. As you can see, a lot of gravel, a lot of stones, a very loose surface. Yeah, so brakes really, really well. Tires are amazing. Handles very well, doing 15 miles an hour on loose surface. The front brakes control the rear tires, and the left brake controls the front, which is the way it's supposed to be, because that's the way it is on my motorcycle. And there are other bikes that have it completely reversed, and that confuses the heck out of me. So I like this way better. Alright, cool. Yeah, it handles very, very well off-road, guys. If you want to take this bike off-road, it's got plenty of power to do that. Alright, let's get back on the main road and go up this gigantic hill like I was talking about before. And so for this hill climb test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the second battery, because I want to be able to have the maximum amount of power this battery provides. Alright, I accidentally turned off the bike. Alright, so now both batteries are on. We're going to put pedal assist number 5 back on. Now we're good to go. Alright, let's go. So, right now I'm pedaling because I want to continue my momentum, but I'm going to stop pedaling right now. We're going to switch directly to pure power mode. So right now, as you can see, no pedaling. Doing 17, 16.5, 15.8, 15.5, 15.1, 15, 14.6, 14.3, 14, 13.9, 13.7. There was a guy riding a motorcycle. He was staring at me. He's like, is this guy riding a motorcycle or is he riding a bike? That's so funny. I have a helmet on, just so you know. 13.5, 13.4, 13.5, 13.7, 13.9, 14. There's a little dip, and then it becomes completely vertical as soon as we pass this big tree over here. But 14 miles an hour, guys, this is way faster than the other e-bikes I've tried out. Other e-bikes do anywhere between, I would say, 11 miles an hour to 12, 13, but 14.6, I'm very, very impressed. So this definitely has a lot of power, and the 1200 peak watts, I can definitely feel it. I can definitely tell you that the 1200 peak watts is working right now, because 14.8 miles an hour going up this gigantic steep hill is quite impressive. But just as an FYI, all the e-bikes I test out have full battery capacity as soon as I bring them out for you guys, and of course this bike is no exception. Now, because this has dual batteries, and because we're running a gargantuan 30 amp hours, the battery meter has not gone down. If it went down, I'd be shocked. But yeah, we still have all bars remaining. But I think if I had like only one battery, maybe we would have lost like 1 bar. But anyway, regardless, We're gonna go down this hill, and we're gonna test out how smooth and stable this bike is at a higher rate of speed. I'm assuming we're gonna do anywhere upwards of 35-40 miles an hour. And with this dual suspension and how the bike feels and everything, I'm gonna be confident in saying that this thing is gonna handle very, very well. All right, let's take off. All right, so coasting right now, going down this hill. I'm gonna put both hands on the brakes. 27 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, 33 miles an hour, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 41, 42. Wow, I feel very comfortable. 44 miles an hour. All right, I'm gonna slow down now because we're getting up to an intersection. So we went down this hill at 44 miles an hour, guys, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. I felt very confident in its ride quality and in terms of how smooth it was and how stable it was. So very, 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 very smooth ride and stable ride at 44 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, this thing is a tank. Holy cow, this thing is a tank. Yeah, the suspension did its job as it should. Man, that was amazing. Let's go. 1200 watt motor. Took me up to 20 miles an hour. ASAP. Let's go on the grass, see what it's like. Now, I just want to mention that the rear suspension does make a clunking sound. So as it's springing up and down, it kind of goes clunk, clunk, clunk. I think you might be able to adjust that. It does come with a pump. You can either lower the pressure or increase the pressure depending on your rider weight. I just left it stock the way it was, but I think you can mess with all that kind of stuff if you wanted to. But anyway, let's go ahead and test out the brakes because, yeah, as I mentioned before, this thing finally has hydraulic brakes, and it feels so much better than the previous version. Why do hydraulic brakes feel so much better? I don't understand, but they do. And bikes that have them these days, they're a lot better than the bikes that don't. All right, now, there was one bike I tested recently. It was called the Hitway e-bike. The tires were just really, really terrible. So I ended up skidding about 30 feet. Now I'm going to do the same test over here, doing 20 miles an hour. Here we go. Ooh, that performed way better than the other bike. Check it out, guys. Let me show you where we stopped. Like, we literally punched it like right over here. And look how long it took me to stop. Like, literally a bike length, okay? The other bike, on the other hand, my tread marks are still here. Look at that. The other bike, I started right here, and I ended up, you can see the tread marks right over here. So that, I don't think it had anything to do with the brakes, but it had specifically something to do with the tires. And as you can see, these tires are absolutely amazing, and they're super grippy. The most important thing with anything that has wheels are the tires. Brakes, no matter if it's regular standard brakes or hydraulic, they're going to slow you down. But how much traction do you have on the tires to slow you down from a dead? Okay, so there we go. This time I use more of the rear than I did the front, but I don't see that much of my tread here. So that means that the tires are really good. On the other one, it left a lot of tread mark. I'm going to do this test one more time, but I'm going to use more of my front, or I'm going to punch both of them at the same time and see how long it takes for me to stop. Wow, I am impressed, guys. I slammed on the brakes when we got somewhere around here. So once again, it took me about a bike length to stop from 20 miles an hour. Man, these tires are amazing, guys. Really, really grippy tires. The brakes obviously worked very, very well. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, sensational brakes. Sensational brakes. Yeah, they did a fantastic job on the brakes, man. Wow, super impressed. Guys, what can I say? ENGWE hit the mark once again. Super 73 looks, performance, the way the first version should have been it since the beginning. You got hydraulic rear shock, hydraulic brakes, dual batteries, these amazing gorgeous looks. I mean, I don't have to tell you this, but this is probably my all-time favorite bike. I just absolutely love the way this thing looks, and now I love the way it performs. And if you guys are interested in getting this bike, there's a link down in the description below with a coupon code, and leave your thoughts and your comments down in the description below. I'm very curious to find out what you guys think of this bike compared to what the competition offers. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.